Me, leave the king the alone. I don't care, bro. I'm gonna post my wife as much as I want. Go post your wife on your and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a...
What happens when the student not only outshines the teacher, but takes pure pleasure in burning down his entire legacy? That's exactly what's happening right before our eyes. Kanye West, yes, Ye himself, is taking direct aim at Jay-Z, the man who once held the keys to his kingdom, the man he once called his big brother. But those days of respect and brotherhood, long gone. Now Ye is on a mission, not just to hurt Jay-Z's career, but to shatter him where it stings the most. His family, his carefully crafted reputation, and those secrets he spent decades burying. Jay-Z was already stumbling after that humiliating courtroom moment where whispers of a possible illegitimate son rattled his clean image. That alone was enough to shake the pedestal he's been standing on for years. But Ye didn't sit back and let the rumor mill do its thing. No, he grabbed that story, twisted it like a knife, and hurled it straight into the public's face like a live grenade. Kanye didn't just air Jay-Z's dirty laundry. He soaked it in gasoline and struck a match for the whole world to watch it burn.
Never been back to the hospital since 2015. But every time they say I'm crazy, it's just what I'm saying.
And oh yeah, didn't stop there. Post after post, he weaponized Jay-Z's pain. He painted him as nothing more than a fraud, a man who preaches loyalty and family values while secretly battling lawsuits from people claiming to be his own children. These weren't harmless jabs. They were ruthless slashes meant to cut deep. Kanye called Jay-Z a hypocrite, exposing the cracks behind Roc Nation's polished empire, reminding the world that behind the billions and the clean suits stood a man accused of abandoning his own blood. And here's where the whispers get darker. Insiders say Ye has been collecting receipts for years. Not just texts, not just casual gossip, but a secret vault of files, documents, evidence, information that could stain Jay-Z's empire beyond repair. The big question is, did Ye just explode in the moment, or has this been his trap all along, carefully planned for over a decade?
Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to Zion.
Because let's be real, if Ye really has that kind of ammunition, Jay-Z isn't just facing Twitter slander. He could be staring down the biggest reckoning of his life. Rumors are already swirling of private settlements, desperate phone calls, even late-night offers. Insiders whisper that Jay-Z, the chess master who always keeps his cool, tried something he never admits to, cutting a check. Yes, allegedly paying a man off just to shut Ye up. But did Kanye take the money? Oh no. Not only did he turn it down, he threw more fuel on the fire and turned up the volume for everyone to hear. Imagine this. Jay-Z, the billionaire mogul who's outmaneuvered everyone from rivals to prosecutors, suddenly being outplayed, not by another mogul, not by the law, but by Kanye West, the man who thrives in chaos and proudly declares that no one can control him.
The thing about the kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, the kids that her friends at school, they're gonna know about it, they're gonna see it, and it puts the kids in a horrible situation.
And let's not pretend this feud came out of thin air. No, the cracks in this so-called brotherhood have been showing for years. Ye has never forgiven Jay-Z and Beyonce for skipping his wedding to Kim Kardashian back in 2014. To Ye, that wasn't just a scheduling conflict, it was a dagger straight through the chest. And then came another slap in the face. When Jay-Z picked Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl halftime show over him, one snub became two, and resentment snowballed into pure rage. So when Ye went off online this year, dragging not just Jay-Z, but even his children, Sir and Rumi, into his rants, it left even his harshest critics stunned. His posts were grotesque, so disturbing that even Kim Kardashian, who's put up with years of Ye's wild antics, said enough. Reports say Kim was appalled, broken, and even started reconsidering her custody agreements. Kanye's war with Jay-Z was bleeding into his own family battles, turning everything around him into a domino chain of destruction.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
But here's what makes it chilling. Ye doesn't even pretend he regrets it. In one deleted tweet, he openly admitted he only took down posts about Jay-Z's kids because he was scared of losing his account. Not because of guilt, not because of morality, just fear of being silenced. That's how bold, how brazen this has gotten. According to Ye, when his marriage collapsed and he was fighting tooth and nail to keep custody of his kids, Jay-Z stood back. He let the Kardashian machine steamroll Kanye, and that betrayal cut deeper than anything else. Ye said it himself. They could have used their cultural position to not just watch the Kardashians run me over. That wasn't just a complaint, it was an accusation. But Ye didn't just rant. He turned his fury into art. He released his new visual album, Bully. Not once, not twice, but 3 times online. And who did he cast? His own son, Saint, swinging a mallet and wearing a ring, symbolically striking back at all of Ye's enemies. It wasn't just music, it was performance art, it was a vendetta, and it was family turned into ammunition. Jay-Z, meanwhile, stayed silent. He always does. But this silence, it only made Ye look like he was winning the war of words. For years, Ye begged for Jay-Z's validation, his acknowledgement as an equal. He even wrote Big Brother as a love letter. But somewhere between Paris in 2016, when Ye blasted Jay-Z for not visiting after Kim's robbery, and today, that love curdled into venom. Now, every time he drags Beyonce into his tirades, every time he questions her loyalty or calls her complicit, it's another reminder. The brotherhood is dead.
Felonies, I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, you know, I don't want to see him go down for something that you could have just got.
And as if the scandal wasn't already explosive, whispers in the industry claim Ye is sharpening the knife even more. Rumors say he's hinting at other hidden children, that Jay-Z might have paid for homes, hush money, even full-on silence deals to keep them in the shadows. Whether it's fact or fiction, the damage is the same, because Jay-Z, for all his power, still refuses to take the DNA test that could clear it all up. And in the ruthless world of tabloids, silence is guilt. Ye knows it, he's milking it, and every quiet shrug from Jay-Z, it's like handing Ye a megaphone. And here's the part that's got Hollywood shaking. The whispers that Jay-Z might have even tried to cut a private deal with Kanye. Think about that. The same Jay-Z who has outplayed everyone for decades. The man who turned rap into empire, bending just enough to offer Ye hush money. If that's true, it means even he knows Ye's tongue is a loaded weapon that could blow the Carter empire sky high. But Ye isn't just keeping his aim on Jay-Z. Oh no, this chaos artist drags everyone in. Kim Kardashian, his own kids, even Diddy. Nobody's safe. Ye thrives on chaos like it's oxygen. He insists every other celebrity is controlled, a puppet, while he's the only one who can't be tamed. And by casting Jay-Z and Beyonce as villains, as the establishment figures in his story, he turns himself into the outlaw truth teller. It's messy, it's reckless, it's dangerous, but it works. Every rant he posts becomes breaking news. Every screenshot of a deleted post spreads like wildfire. Every jab at Jay-Z's family, more fuel for the inferno.
Think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could.
So here we are, staring at this unbelievable spectacle. Jay-Z, the master strategist, suddenly looks cornered, while Ye, the agitator who feeds off madness, gets louder, meaner, and more unhinged by the day. The real question isn't if Ye will stop, it's how far he'll go. And more terrifyingly, what kind of secrets he might still be holding back, waiting for the perfect strike. At first glance, Ye's fixation on humiliating Jay-Z looks like pure ego. But look closer, and you see something uglier. A vendetta years in the making. This isn't about clout. This is about betrayal, abandonment, and a man who feels his so-called family turned their backs on him when he needed them most. When his marriage fell apart, when his public breakdowns destroyed his image, when he was fighting tooth and nail for his children, Ye wanted Jay-Z and Beyonce to step in, to use their influence, their cultural power, their untouchable status to shield him. Instead, he says, they stood back. And in Ye's eyes, that silence was the biggest betrayal of all. The wound that never healed. The scar that turned into a grudge so toxic, it's now poisoning everything in its path. This isn't just family drama, it's a storm, and it's dragging Jay-Z's biggest vulnerability into the spotlight. The never-ending legal war with Rymir Satterthwaite, the man who claims he's Jay-Z's secret son. For years, that case has bounced around courts, dismissed, refiled, dismissed again. But now, just as Diddy's name is being swallowed by scandal, the allegations are back. Louder, dirtier, and more dangerous than ever. For Ye, it's the perfect storm. His enemy, already weakened, now tied up in lawsuits, gossip, and old accusations. And Ye, he's dangling the threat of secret files like a sword over Jay-Z's head. If he really does have those receipts, he could time their release for maximum destruction. To outsiders, some of this might look petty. But for Ye, every little slight feels like betrayal. The Carters not showing up to his wedding wasn't just hurt feelings, it was to him proof he was never really family. Every event they skipped, every silence during his meltdowns, every smile they flashed while he was drowning, it all piled up. Each cut became a scar, and those scars turned into the rage we're watching now. And that rage explains why Ye's humiliations cut so deep. They're not about clout chasing. They're about forcing Jay-Z to acknowledge him even if it's as an enemy. If he couldn't be recognized as a brother, he'll make damn sure he's recognized as a rival. By torching Jay-Z's carefully built image, Ye makes sure the world looks at him, whether out of respect, horror, or sheer curiosity. And yet, beneath all the chaos, beneath the insults and the grotesque attacks, there's a painful undercurrent. Ye's obsession with Jay-Z is tangled up with longing. As much as he humiliates him, he still craves his validation. Every all-caps tirade, every attack on Jay-Z's kids, every cruel jab, it all feels like the twisted rage of someone asking the same question over and over. Why wasn't I enough for you? That's what makes this feud so dark, so tragic. It's not just entertainment, it's heartbreak. Kanye has always admitted he felt like the black sheep of the industry, the outsider who never belonged. When he thought he finally found family with Jay-Z and Beyonce, only to be abandoned when life spiraled, something broke. And now, every cruel word is his revenge. Every humiliation is his way of punishing the people he once begged for love. And then there's Beyonce, the queen of silence, the master of control. She hasn't uttered a single word, no comments, no responses, no acknowledgement. To the world, she looks calm, regal, untouchable. But what's behind that silence? Is it power or fear? Because here's the truth. Silence works against the tabloids. But Kanye? Kanye feeds on silence. The more she ignores him, the louder he gets. The wilder his accusations, the more outrageous his claims. Could Beyonce be forced to finally break her golden rule if Kanye drops something too explosive to ignore? And then comes the most sinister whisper yet. That Jay-Z really did try to settle privately with Ye, cutting a secret deal behind the scenes. If that's true, it means the Carters aren't just annoyed by Ye's chaos. They're scared. They know he might not just be ranting, he might actually have the kind of material that could ruin their dynasty. Imagine this. What if Ye has proof of more hidden children? What if he has business receipts that contradict Jay-Z's clean billionaire image? Even the possibility is enough to shake their empire. Because let's not forget, Jay-Z is already juggling battles. The accusations from Rymir Satterthwaite, the lawsuits pulling his name into Diddy's scandals, the whispers about what really goes on behind closed doors. And now, Kanye circling like a vulture, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. For Kanye, this isn't just revenge, it's legacy. He doesn't just want Jay-Z embarrassed, he wants him dethroned. For Kanye, this battle isn't just about gossip, it's about rewriting history itself. He doesn't just want to humiliate Jay-Z, he wants to rip him down from the throne, to prove that the so-called blueprint of hip-hop's empire isn't untouchable. Think about it. For decades, Jay-Z has been framed as the king, the strategist, the man who turned rap into business, into billions, into legacy. Meanwhile, Ye has been cast as the unstable genius, brilliant but broken, chaotic, impossible to control. But if Ye can destroy Jay-Z's image, suddenly the story changes. Suddenly, Kanye isn't the outcast anymore. He's the rebel truth teller, the one man brave enough to torch the crown. This isn't just a feud. This is a war for legacy, a battle to decide who history remembers as the king of culture and who goes down as a scandal. And let's not sugarcoat it. Kanye has already crossed every line. He's attacked Jay-Z's marriage, his children, his silence. He's dared to suggest Beyonce is complicit. He's dragged their family name through the mud over and over. And if the whispers are true, if he really does have more ammunition tucked away in that secret vault, he's waiting for the exact moment when it will cause maximum destruction. And here's the terrifying part. Kanye has nothing left to lose. His reputation, already bruised. His empire, already fractured. Chaos doesn't break him. He survives on it. But Jay-Z and Beyonce, they built their empire on control. Perfect rollouts, polished images, carefully timed words. Their dynasty is made of glass. And Ye knows exactly how to throw the stone. So here we are, staring at the edge of hip-hop's most dangerous reckoning. The haunting question, is Kanye about to unleash secrets so devastating that even the Carters can't bury them? Will Ye be remembered as the man who toppled Jay-Z's legacy, who cracked open the Carter empire for the world to see? Or will history write him off as the unstable provocateur who went too far, burning himself in the same fire he lit? Right now, we're standing in the eye of the storm. And when the truth finally bursts out, because make no mistake, something is coming, no one will walk away untouched. Not Jay-Z, not Beyonce, not even Kanye himself. So what do you think? Does Ye really hold the power to burn the Carter dynasty to the ground? Or is this just another manic spectacle destined to fade into the noise? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this isn't just a story. It's a battlefield. And every opinion, every whisper, every screenshot, it all adds fuel to the fire. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never forget, behind every flawless smile in Hollywood, there's always a shadow waiting to surface.